Yes, on the Xbox, on the Series X, with a short tutorial this morning inspired by somebody asking a question on the Facebook group about remote control access to a base without using a sensor, so that you could take a door, say like this one over here, on my grindy place, that opens via a hinge, and not have to jump out of your ship or your rover or whatever to get in. Now, when you're playing on a server, I believe there are scripts you can use to do this, but after chatting with some of my mods over at the group, there is a way to do it where you don't have to use a connector to attach to your base and do it that way. You can do it another way. So what we're going to do very briefly is set up some airtight hangar doors or a gate. Since a lot of you use airtight hangar doors, I've done this in the past, but you can see you can't put them down like this unless you turn them this way. That's because they've got nothing to anchor onto. They just like to be in the floor. And then you'll see. We're just going to use these as a quick example, and you can see exactly how many blocks they go up by. Straight there. I'm just going to use these anyway. I don't have to build the whole thing. Just a rough idea. So there we go. We've got our airtight hangar doors, and we need to make them into a group. Now, we can do this one or two ways. We can find a spare control panel somewhere, or build one. I always advise, if you're going to build something like this, just drop a quick control panel and under your buttons. Down on a wall with the circle at the top, and then when you open it, just go to your search box and type HANG, and you'll pick up all your airtight hangar doors. Same deal as we've always done. Press A on the first one, hold down the right bumper, and just move it down slowly, tapping A. Yes, there are ways to band select the whole lot, but my advice would be to do it this way if you've got a small group of them. And then we'll just call them demo doors and save it off. So there we go. We've now got some doors here, but we can't do anything with them. What we want to do is we want to control these doors without the use of a button. So, what you may or you may not know, depending on your level of competence with the game, or whether you're new, is that your suit itself has a excuse me, remote telemetry system. I've gone through this before in the past, but I will go through it again now. And what we need to get that to work is a couple of things. One, on the base itself, we're going to need to drop down an antenna, and then somewhere on the base, and it doesn't really matter on the orientation of it, although looking at the remote control block, you can actually see from the picture of it how it's supposed to be orientated in terms of where it's going to fly. That's the front with the green light. So now we've got remote control block and antenna. We can come over here and imagine if you're in your ship press your inventory button and use the left stick to get to remote access. And then when you click remote access, you'll be given a big list of things that you can check the terminal of that are within range, but also that you can actually access remotely. So let's go to Mod Showcase HQ. If we access this with A on Take Control, you'll see that we are now in control of it. Any system on this that can be interacted with, if it had thrusters on it, we could play with the thrusters and so on. What we want to do though is we want to add on our D-pad by holding down the direction and then choosing groups, demo doors, and we want them to open close. Now when we tap down on the D-pad, we can remotely control our doors on the base without having to mess about with a sensor or even put a ship on a connector. Then just press X and you can do it from anywhere. So if you're coming in your ship or whatever and you want to control your doors, go to remote access, go to Mod Showcase, and then you've got complete control. So whatever it is, you just name your grid, headquarters 1 or whatever you want to call it. Do it that way. Much easier than trying to connect onto a connector and control the doors that way, and less faff than a sensor if you don't want to mess around with those. And bear in mind that anything that's connected up to this grid can be remote controlled when you take control of this. So there is your example, and it's not just airtight hangar doors you can do it with. You can do it with any doors on the grid. So if we go briefly and pop, whoops, there we go, a door like this, you'll see these open the gate, and when we now connect to our grid again on a remote, this, we can do a couple of things. What we could do, add a gate to our thing, open and close it, and we add this hinge on a reverse command. We now have 3 things we can control. We can control our airtight hangar doors on down. We can pop our gate open and closed. And we can even open our VG S over there, the vehicle grinding station. Anything that you can access normally via a button that's got a group on it that you want to remote control from anywhere, you can, using the remote control on your suit. And as I said before, it's easy as long as there is a remote block and an antenna on the grid. And I'd like to say thanks to Michael Dunbar for reminding me of this particular feature of the game. I'd forgotten about that one since I've been messing around with sensors a lot, and there's a lot in Space Engineers to remember. So there you go, that's it. That's how to add remote control to your headquarters so you can open and close all those things, make it a lot easier without messing around with sensors, and so on. Hopefully this has been useful, and I will catch you in the next one. We will be continuing on with the large ship build. I'd like to use some landing gear on this, and one of the things I'm going to go for, because this is a non-modded build, are the magnetic plates that came with Heavy Industry. I think that would be a good idea, because also at the moment it seems that the new version of the Ganymede maglev gear is bugged. So yeah, that's what we'll be doing next. So stay safe, take care, have fun, enjoy the game. I'm pretty certain we're going to hear news on Warfare 2, and hopefully it'll be a update and DLC which will blow us all away. Thank you for watching, thank you for liking, thank you for subscribing. I'll catch you in the next one. Take care again. Bye for now.